All right, hello there, and welcome to On the Workbench, episode number 7. In this episode, I have two guitars. One is this Solar A1.6 ETC, which designates that it has an Evertune bridge. And this one I've sold this one, and I want to change the strings because there's a little bit of tarnish on the strings. I like to give people a new set of strings when they buy a guitar. And I'll clean up the fretboard and polish it up. But also I thought it'd give me an opportunity to talk about the Evertune bridge and how it works if you've never seen one. So basically the Evertune bridge is set up to where the string has 3 zones. Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. So in Zone 1, you're able to drop the pitch of the string. So right now I'm in Zone 2 where it's tuned. And if I was to tune up, I would bring the string into Zone 3. But let's tune it down. You'll notice right now, I turn the tuning machine, but it doesn't change pitch. When it starts to change pitch, then I'll be in Zone 1. See, now it's in Zone 1 below Zone 2. So where now it changes the pitch, but not the tension. So when you get back into zone, now we're in Zone 2, it only changes the tension on the string. And if you keep bringing it up, then the pitch will go up and you will be in Zone 3. So now you hear the pitch is up. So we bring it back down to Zone 2. So if you go farther into Zone 2, when you bend a string, the pitch won't change. So you bring it up right next to Zone 1. So you hear it changes, then you bring it back down. So now I can bend a string because it's so close to Zone 3 that when you bend the string, it allows the pitch to go up. So that's how that basically works. And it also has pretty neat adjustments for the intonation, the action, and the tuning. It's just by a hex wrench, an Allen wrench, for these 3 spots right here. So this one will change your intonation, this one changes your action up and down, and then this one on the saddle itself will change the tuning when you want to change tuning from, say, E standard down to E flat or D standard, whatever you want to do. All right, well, I'm going to get these strings off here, polish the frets, clean the fretboard, and slap a new set of strings on there for the new owner of this guitar. All right, that guitar's done, so now we'll move on to guitar number 2. All right, so guitar number 2 is my ESP LTD Deluxe M1007. It's my only 7-string guitar. It's got a Floyd Rose 1000 SE bridge. It's got a pretty nice quilt top on it. It's like a black burst. So this one has just been sitting on the stand for about a year and a half, and so I finally decided to play it, but it needs some new strings. It's got the original strings on it, And it's got the same problem as a little bit of tarnish. So it gets these little specks on the strings, and it starts to be a little bit difficult to play. And that's why I use these elixir strings. It's really just for the plain steel, because on these they have an anti-rust coating, which helps with preventing this oxidation and the finish wearing off on the trebles, because my fingers sweat. I mean, I can use fast fret, but it's like a constant thing of wiping it on and wiping it off and getting it to feel right, where with the elixir strings I just don't have that problem, and they last months and months and months without wearing off the finish and becoming kind of sticky. And then the other problem I had was the screw on for the arm is a little bit, picked up a little bit of rust, so it's coming on and off a little bit difficult, like it's kind of sticking there, like some of the threads have a little bit of oxidation on it. So that's probably an easy fix. I'm just going to put a couple drops of 3-in-1 oil on this and then thread it back down on there, and that should take care of that little bit of resistance. 3-in-1 oil, it helps a lot of stuff. Sometimes it can take, you know, just a little bit of tarnish off things and freshen up like nuts and bolts that have kind of oxidized over time. So let's try this and see how this works out. Probably just a drop or two. There we go. Work that around in there. Yeah, that's much better. Yep, that's all it needed. Sometimes parts just over time, you know, just sitting in the air, the humidity going up and down, your metal parts can start to rust. Sometimes you just need like a drop of 3-in-1 oil, take care of that. And then with this one, I'm just gonna change the strings and condition the fretboard. I don't need to polish the frets because they're stainless steel extra jumbo, so they stay shiny for a very long time. Don't really have to polish them up like nickel frets that tarnish. Alright, so I'm just going to change the strings, and then this one will be done too. I think I'm going to skip conditioning the fretboard because I'm almost out of the fretboard remedy, and I prefer to just do one string at a time when I'm changing strings on a Floyd Rose. It just makes it a little bit easier to get it all back in tune, because you can take one off, put the new one on, stretch it out a little bit before you move on to the next string. That way you don't have so much stretching to do with all the strings when you get them all on there. So with the third string on, you can see the difference between polish between the third string and the first and second string. You can see how much shinier that one is than the two upper ones. Just shows you how much tarnish was on those strings. Guitars feel so much better with a new set of strings. Alright, well that about does it for this episode. I'm going to go play this guitar, stretch out the strings a little bit more, maybe play some corn. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.